Don't that just make you want to dance? Hey, listen at them horns. Come on now. What's up, you guys? It's Miami Night, your master grief coach, educator, and trainer, coming to you to talk about day 4 of the #1 National Iconic Conference for Black Entrepreneurs. Thank you so much if you have come all week to enjoy, to get restored, and to learn so much from the most amazing teachers of our time. Thank you so much for being here. And if you'd like to be a part of the Black Iconic Network, just go to join, JOIN, blackceo.com, and become a part of the family, right? So let me tell you what's been going on all week. Amazing speakers. Oh, got me. I have chills right now. But we are here to speak to you and talk to you and give you just the insight of what you can do to up-level your game. And also transform our lives, your lives, our community, and also, better than nothing else, it's done by the best, for us, by us. Come on now. Glad to see you. Watch this next clip. This is a part of the panel that I was in for this week with BlackWoman Confidential. Stay tuned.
And it is entitled Black Women Confidential. Now, I don't know what it's going to be about, but I suspect that there's going to be a whole lot of black girl magic involved with Black Woman Confidential.
The essence of BlackWoman Confidential.
Thank you so much for this. Along my journey, I had a lot of trauma. So back in 2011, my son Tyke was shot in an incident that also claimed the life of his best friend. Well, Tyke, miraculously, he survived. He lived with a traumatic brain injury, PTSD, anxiety, depression, you name it. And he also, of course, had a lot of thoughts of ideation and suicidal, thoughts and things that he just couldn't understand and wrap his brain around. He was also the key witness to the trial of his attempted murder. Well, 5 years after that, Tyke shot and killed himself. So just breathe for a second after someone says that. I have had to now learn to take time and engulf myself in the space where I'm at. When I'm having to share that story, when I'm having to tell people, I've had this traumatic experience, and now I'm a part of a network of women that also have lost their children as well. I'm a part of Moms Demand Action and also Everytown for Gun Safety. And I work with those women that have truly kind of the same stories that I do. They have lost their children tragically to gun violence. And I'm able to be a mentor to them because along my journey, I also took the route to spiritual healing. I am an author as well, and I wrote The Key Process, a grief guide to mastering spiritual healing. And what that consists of, out of that, I pulled out these 7 keys of how I began to heal. And that was through meditation. That was by me changing my diet because, of course, food that, how much food that we intake and the toxins that are in our body, it's hard for us to process things. So with that, I learned mindfulness and I started exercising. And then I tapped into the world of Reiki and energy healing. And after that, I went through this whole process of needing to understand what ancestral healing was. And when I started doing all this work, I started defining my purpose. I was nowhere on the trail of becoming a grief coach, a certified grief specialist, and now a grief counselor. Nowhere. I was nowhere near that realm. I was actually a certified home stager at the time and had been an event planner for many of years. I was not looking for this line of work that I'm in now, but it found me. And so I had to learn to embrace that. And as I learned to embrace that, I got into this network of beautiful women that knows the struggles that I am having. And they also know how to relate to me. They actually allow me to say, if they asked me, how are you doing? They pause and they allow for me to answer. Because, a lot of times when we ask people, say, hey, how you doing? And then you come with the next thing to say. But they really allow me. And what I've learned with being a part of this network of women, I've also learned how to move and shake through when I'm going through my own stages. I just because I am a grief educator and trainer doesn't mean that I don't have my days. I miss this boy over here. I miss him dearly. But yet, through this process and having women that I can support, it has helped challenge me. It has helped wake me up in the morning. It's helped me get up throughout the days and say, hey, you know what? I can do this. I can do this by God's grace. And I can do this because God has equipped me for this time. There's nowhere in the world I would have chosen, oh, I want to be a grief coach. But what I have learned over the time and through the education, that there's a need for this work. Because, like I said, when I first came on, a lot of times we think that, we have it all together. But yet there are so many things that are unresolved, from childhood trauma to, just the things that we just don't want to deal with. If it's a relationship or a loss that we have, it could be a loss of a pet. But a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to heal that. We sweep it up under the rug, and then it's going to come out in a meeting or with a conversation with our spouses, or a conversation with a girlfriend. But if we allow ourselves time to heal, and to even discover and acknowledge what it is and accept what it is, and then allow ourselves to go through a healing process to free it, feel it, and face it, then we'll be okay. So that's why I'm here. And I'm so grateful that I have a network of women that I can, like I said, pull from as well, and also mentor to them to show them that, grieving is nothing wrong with that. It's something that we have to do. Our body has to do it. Our body has to release that energy, and we need to learn other ways of how to heal through the process.
Thank you so much, Miami Night, for that. I think you said free it, feel it, face it. Right? That 3F methodology. Free it, release it, face it, look at it, make sure that it's standing right there, and then feel it, which is what we don't oftentimes give ourselves permission to do, because we have been living in someone else's persona that we have to be on all the time, every single hour of the day. I'm just looking at the time right now, and it has flown by. Like, where did it go? We could be here another 5 hours, right? Having this conversation. And certainly we want to be here with you. But as we continue to go through the conference, make sure that you get over to freebizgifts.com. Connect with these ladies. All of their social media information will be there, because you may find your sister circle with one of them. Hopefully, in this conversation, the ladies will stay connected here, because I just see some phenomenal things coming as a result of it. BlackWoman Confidential has been something that has been near and dear to me for a very long time. And we are actually having BlackWoman Startup, that is, we are having our conference next month. And the theme of that is BlackWoman Confidential. So we are urging everyone to become a part of that, register. It is a no cost event, but it will be talking about the secrets of Black women on the rise in business, in life, in love, in leadership, in all of the places that we find ourselves. One of the things that I am a big proponent of and for is that all of the different hats that we wear, that we begin to integrate them all together. Right? Because what would happen as Black women is that we would find ourselves, and I know for me personally, if you would ask 7 different people if they knew E.R. Spalding, they would give you 7 different personas of who she was, depending upon if I was in a work environment, if I was hanging out with my girlfriends, if I was over here with my husband or the children, or in the spiritual space, right? All of these decompartmentalized things. And really what I learned is that the best version of who I am shone through when I was able to integrate all of those together and allow individuals to see the complete me, the authentic me, the graceful and the gritty, right? the grand and the not so grand. And so if I were to leave you with the number one secret, it would actually be a quote that I hold dear to me. And it's a quote by Richard Bach. And it is, you teach best what you most need to learn. You teach best what you most need to learn. That has certainly been the case for me. And so, as an entrepreneur, I find myself teaching and training and being in spaces for the things that I need to learn the most and continue to grow and deepen. And that is the relational wealth between women. All right. Miami Night, what is your number one secret?
I would say decide, having the opportunity to simply decide, making a decision. Um, when I lost, after losing my son, and it was a year after, I decided that I wasn't going to live that way anymore because I couldn't if I was going to continue doing what I was doing. So by me simply making a decision to do something differently, that's what changed my outcome to be a better woman, showing up in the world differently. And it also helped me to understand what grief and healing was. I understood what grief, I started learning what grief was, but I didn't understand what healing meant behind the grief. And in doing that, that helped me to awaken my spiritual self. So, but I had to start by simply deciding.
So, all you Black CEOs out there, make a decision, right? No waddling the fence there. Thank you so much, Miami. Tawana Taylor, what is your number one secret? I think we can't hear you, Tawana. Let me just check your mic real quick. Do a mic check.
Mic check.
Yes, we can hear you now. Beautiful.
All right, thank you. Yes, I was just telling Miami Night, she's speaking my language. You gotta be willing to make a decision,
I am
right?
does not mean you are not. I am does not mean you are not. So, in this space, we have the ability to constantly lift one another up, to collaborate with one another, and to allow other individuals to shine, because I am does not mean you are not. Thank you so much for being here with us in this iconic discussion about BlackWoman Confidential, Secrets of Black Women on the Rise. We truly hope that you are continuing to be here and are enjoying this national conference with Black CEO. And we also hope to see you at Black Woman Startups, BlackWoman Confidential, that'll literally be 1 month after this, March 22nd through the 27th. So with that, we will say bye-bye, auf Wiedersehen, shalom, whichever language, but this will not be the end. And we're going to do this in true Black CEO fashion. So anytime we come together and we get ready to leave the room, we do a countdown from 11 and we count backwards. And then everybody with a thunderclap shouts out their first name, where they're from, and the name of their business, and they say Black CEO out. So ladies, are you ready? Are you with me? Everybody come off mute because we are getting ready to have the countdown. And if you are in the digital audience, make sure that you are typing it in the feed, and we're going to count down at 11. So I'm giving you a little time to type in your name, to type in your city and state, where you're from, and to type in the name of your business, because guess what? This is broadcast all around the world, and there are so many people who can connect with you. So here we go, ladies, and we're going to do this countdown together. We're ready, starting at 11. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are
Miami,
Taylor,
Miami Night,
Atlanta, Georgia.
Black CEO out.
All right.
Black CEO.
Oh, Black CEO out.
Black CEO out.
Black CEO out.
It's the Miami Night Show. We'll be right back. It's Miami night.
It's Miami night.
Master Grief Coach, Educator, and Training.
It's Miami night. It's Miami night. Night. Are you comfortable? Are you ready to rise? Are you ready to shine? Let's get it. Are you comfortable? Are you ready to groove? Are you ready to this groove? Are you ready? Let's get it. Let's go. You're so underneath the sunrise. You're so under your midday light. You're so let me be your midnight star. 'Cause you are so wonderful.
Slow-mo.
He's got me walking that grief one.
Going slow-mo.
He's got me talking that grief tongue.
Going slow-mo.
He's got me clocking the way.
It's the Miami Night Show.
Hey, yeah.
Slow-mo.
He's got me walking that grief one.
Going slow-mo.
He's got me talking that grief tongue.
Going slow-mo.
He's got me clocking the way.
What up, tribe? It's Miami Night, your Master Grief Coach. Welcome to the Miami Night Show. You got me walking that grief walk. It's time for grief talk, y'all.
I talk about things you think about.
It's Miami Night, your Master Grief Coach.